Hello and welcome to Chai Chat with Lavina, and most importantly in Chartwala in Gypsy Lane, Leicester. So that's quite an important thing because we are having chat over chart. But on a very important and serious matter this time, and the fact is, which we all know about, that the unrest and the tensions between the Hindu and the Muslim community in Leicester and also then in Midlands and Birmingham have really got us all quite disturbed. I'm here in Leicester to understand and to see a way forward. Here we are, we have Fayaz Sulaimanji, who is the chairperson of Leicester Council All Faiths. And I have Dishita here as well from Insight, who has been working with the Hindu side of the boys who have been hurt, and to make sure that right information leads to the police as well. I have Sanjay Ji here from the business community. I have Sajid Ji there from the business community, is the Queen of Leicester here, Baroness Verma, who is a senior politician and someone who has grown up in Leicester, and I think that's very, very important for important opinion. I can stand corrected at any time, and what I have, after having spoken to the boys and seeing their knife wounds, who were knifed and punched and whatever on the streets, and so on the 28th of August, when the Indian boys came out, the Hindu boys in this case came out, there was a person who attacked the Indian flag, who said he was a Pakistani Muslim. It so turned out that he's neither Muslim nor Hindu. This died down, but when some boys on the 4th of September went for Ganpati Puja to a house, they were attacked. In between 28th and 4th, there were some posts of Hindu boys abducting a girl, a few things that enraged, we understand, the Muslim crowd. And then this kind of intimidation kept on happening on the streets till the 17th, where people were asked whether they are Hindu or Muslim and then attacked. This is what I have been told by the boys and a lot of the other people. And on the 17th, the Hindu boys decided that we have to stand up and they took a march out. It was peaceful, I'm told. The police were there, but they did say Jai Shri Ram, which is okay because it has a connotation, just as Allahu Akbar does. And then there was another, the Muslim crowd came and there was a confrontation, and on the 17th the flag in Shivalaya Mandir was burnt. Now I want to understand what happened between the 28th and the 4th to instigate so much that there would be attacks.
Sure. I think the first thing to say that as a community of Leicester, we are all united in our opposition to what's happened, and we remain united in our resolve to come out of this together as one family. And I think it's also important to reiterate that through the work that we've been doing since the initiation of these attacks and the counter-attacks and the demonstrations, there's been a lot of goodwill by the leadership of the different communities, the Hindu, Muslim and other faith leaders, to work together, stand in unity to condemn what's happened. And as a body that brings together the mandirs, the gurdwaras, the temple, the Jain Centre, the Christian churches, mosques in Leicester, we are very clear that we should not focus on blame game. We should focus on how we can actually move forward and bring everybody together and deal with the issues of fear that people feel of not coming out of their homes, deal with issues around fake social media messaging, but also to look at promoting the unity and the peace, which is what Leicester is known for. And that's the kind of positive actions is what we need to focus on.
Absolutely. Being from the Hindu community, there was a rally that went out which further instigated. What is it that we can do to bring peace from and take responsibility?
The rally that you're referring to that went out was to give courage to the community that for 3 months have been kicked out of their own homes. So
no, not 3 months. It was from August 28th, right?
No, way before that. This
Okay.
has been systematically happening
So this-
for the past 3 months. I know families that have been systematically been pushed out of these homes for 3 months. This rally was a peace rally to give courage to the mothers and the sisters who were living in separate homes. And they were saying Jai Shri Ram, and I don't know how that became, Jai Shri Ram became a thing that they found instigating. It's something that for 10,000 years I say every morning. It's a prayer. It's the same as saying Allahu Akbar, which is a prayer. And somehow that instigated the extremists, and they attacked the peace rally. Then obviously, then the mobs kick in from both sides, rightly so. But the Hindu stance at the moment is we don't want this. We want to go back to our own homes and want to reclaim our houses back.
How do we make this happen? What is it that?
Sorry.
How do we make this happen?
I think there's going to have to be the Muslim community that actually condemns these extremists on both sides. I think a lot of condemning isn't happening, or if it's happening very on the surface, just as a statement. I think it needs to be condemned, where then the next day there's not a mob going out in Birmingham outside a mandir. The next day a mob's not going outside a temple in Nottingham. That kind of condemning needs to happen, because you don't see the Hindu community going outside any mosques and doing these marches. So condemning it cannot just be a word.
Okay, thank you.
I think this lady is living on a different planet, let alone a different city.
I think you see, brushing things under the carpet doesn't help.
I'm
That's
sorry,
right.
I thought this was meant to be about
Yeah.
moving forward, but you're actually taking this, regressing, taking this a lot further back. You don't appreciate that. I don't think you know the impact the city has had from the. I wasn't going to be specific. Have you ever seen groups of dumb boys walking around, getting drunk, beating people up, starting trouble? That is your real cause of the issue here. The fact that for 3 months you've stated the fact that 3 months these boys have been going around attacking Muslim boys, doing what they're doing. The police have been inactive in doing something about this. It's the frustration of that the Muslim boys are venting their frustration.
If that's
Can
true,
I please finish?
Yeah.
You talk.
Yeah,
I haven't interrupted you. So when you talk about being specific and Muslim extremists, these boys are right in the fact. Just here, 3 days ago, this road here, one of the Daman boys tried to run a group of Muslim boys over with his car. They pulled him out. They gave him a beating. Who did what? The guy is trying to run Muslim boys over. This is not about Muslims or Hindus. Let's not get into politics of this, because it's really silly. The idea is this is a city that we all love, we've all lived in, so please don't bring out this extremist, the terrorist, all this nonsense that the media plays into and you bring in, and doing the same nonsense again. This is nothing to do with terrorism. This is nothing to do with extremism. This is the frustration of boys living in this city that went in on each other. Nothing else.
Now,
The larger community is appalled by all of this. You seem to be living in a different world altogether if your perception of what is actually going on in here is what your perception of it
This
is.
is
would love to
exactly
see it.
what
This
we
is the
want to
problem.
calm down.
This
Yeah,
is
you
the
say,
problem.
yeah,
This is the
sorry.
problem we have. This is the problem we have.
Saj, I think the point here is for us to come together and actually be a healing voice for the city. And, whatever has taken place will be dissected. The police will investigate, and I'm sure all communities will have their say in it. But our interest as people of business here is to try and get people to look at the city as a place to come and invest, to look at the city to create jobs that actually get rid of the frustrations of all people. And I think let us have a conversation that looks at that. The failings of why nobody is coming to invest in this city is not to do with local communities. It is to do with the failure of how this city has been looked after by local politicians, national politicians, and the perception of the media on what the city is about. And that's what we've got to change. That's the thing we've got to change.
I think there is an underlying issue of which goes back to August 28th, is much deeper, as I can hear from you and I can hear from you.
Definitely.
And I think that needs addressing by politicians
But
like
the-
you and and economics of it all.
economics
really.
of it.
Yes, and I think that's what is very important. The economics of uplifting the people. How can that happen? do you
Well,
think?
Sanjay and Saj want the retail sector to come back into Leicester to buy their goods. So these guys, doesn't matter what background they're from, doesn't matter what religion they are, they're fighting one thing, and that is to try and get a gold standard federation to be able to ensure that what we produce is of quality for the retailers. Now that is never going to be said if we don't work together. And Sanjay, you know,
Yes.
you're in the industry. You're in the
Yes.
industry.
And we all work together. We never ever thought about any different community. We always thought we are all in one. And we always, even today, we're working together and we are fighting for the new businesses
city,
together.
for the
Yes, for
city.
city as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like she says, condemning from your end, burning burning the
from
flag.
one end or the other. It should be from both sides.
Both, that's what I. So,
whoever
if
is
today,
guilty
Yeah, I agree.
should be condemned.
Yes.
I'm not standing up for anyone in particular. I am standing up for certain point of views when they're biased and one-sided. I think the idea is that we, as a community, need to heal this.
yes, exactly. And
Can I-
on the healing point, yes, go on.
Sorry, just on that point he made, there's not been a single house, a Muslim house in any area that's been pushed out of the home. This issue has started because for months, systematically, slowly, families have been moved from their houses. That's where this
Which
comes from.
area are you
This,
specifically talking about? Because the area I think you have in mind,
I've
drive
seen
through
these
this every day.
families. There's
I have my
hundreds of families
I have my
like
factory
this.
in that place. I have never.
I can
have
take
people-
you to these homes
I
and
have
you
people-
can see it for yourself.
I have people working in my factory who are of this origin.
I'm not talking about
I have
factory, we're
people
talking about the
who I
homes.
house.
We're talking about
I
houses.
have people who I house in my properties of this origin. I have yet to hear from them that they have somebody is actually come and
So,
kicked them out. of their
one second,
house.
I need to intervene here, and I think we have to address the elephant in the room. And I think without addressing that, we can't move forward.
And
And the
what
fact
is the
is,
elephant?
and the elephant is that there is hurt on both the sides. If we start from condemning both acts, you condemn, then maybe there is a way.
100%, if
Don't
that
you
has
think,
happened.
Sajjad?
For me, this is by community heart. I have no
So-
affinity with one group.
No,
trying to
I
override
hear
the
you.
other.
What I'm saying is there is an elephant in the room, which is that there are tensions simmering. And until both sides of the community say that, I think, sorry, this should not have happened from our side. Even if they're hooligans, they should not have happened. And now how do we heal? Don't you think?
Lavina, the day all of the community leaders came out together and made a joint statement was the turning point of people realizing that all communities were going to condemn. They all condemned it. It wasn't one community. Every single, because I looked at the pictures. They are from all faiths, as far as I could see.
Yes.
They were condemning it. The simmering tensions are not going to be dealt with unless we all make very strong statements.
Thank you so much. But in the next segment, I would like to bring all of us together to see what is the way forward so that the journey that Leicester was struggling with to make itself self-reliant, to not be called a sweatshop, as you had said, get the investment in, happens. So what is the way forward is what we discuss in the next segment. Thank you and stay tuned.